Welcome to another edition of the Muscle News. Today, I would like to talk about the recent interview from my friend Ron Harris with Kevin Levrone. And there was a part of the interview that I don't really agree with. I mean, everybody has their right for their opinion, just as they do and just as I do. Now, they were talking about a subject that I've brought up many times on my own and with my buddy Eric on our podcast, the Muscle News and Maryland Bodybuilding podcast. That's on every Wednesday. Um, they, I mean, from Kevin's side, he thinks just give out the pro cards. You know, there's so many athletes. If you give out 1,000 pro cards, the best will rise up to the top. That's obvious. Before I get into it more, let's hear what Kevin had to say. Let me just share the screen here. All right, here we go.
It's 2000 going on 26, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to also accept change and realize that the sport has grown. The sport hasn't gone backwards. If the audiences were in a negative, if we didn't have as many categories, and then what would they be saying then? It would. So people are always going to complain about something, right? I mean, I started off with 4 supplements 11 years ago. I have 1,200 supplements right now.
Wow.
We were only in 10 countries. Guess what? We have four. We're only in 10. We're only in 100 countries right now.
Wow.
So, you got to think about things evolve. And so you want to give out what, 1 pro card a show?
I have
Tell me
to.
that, Ron. One pro card a show. How's that going to help the sport?
You're right. You know what?
How many people are going to come to the show?
It's honestly, it's an elitist attitude, and I've been guilty of it. I confess myself.
Yeah, but listen, look at it like this. If you give out 10 pro cards at a show, listen, put it this way.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to say. The year that I won the Nationals was the most prestigious amateur show that you could do to turn pro. Everyone knew that whoever won the Nationals was going to stand a great chance of going to the Night of Champions and win.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
They had the North Americans. They had so many other pro shows. The North Americans. They had name me a few other shows back then that people could turn pro.
Well, there was only in the United States you could only turn pro. USA Nationals, North Americans. That was it. We had 3 shows.
USA, the Nationals, and North Americans. Okay, so should we have said, all right, well, what's the point of them having the North Americans? Because nobody ever they get the pro cards at the North American, but you name me one North American that won the North Americans that placed in the top 5 of the Olympia.
Hold do that. Yeah. But like you're totally right. I mean,
so what I'm saying is the cream is always going to rise to the top. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Point blank period right there. Give out 300-400 pro cards. The cream is going to rise to the top.
Because only the top guys
the judges still have
are deserving
to pick out
of the pro cards, Kev.
That stage, whether it's we gave out
the rest is just
cards, or whoever
a money grab.
Qualify to get to that stage, and the cream of the crop should be on the stage. So who cares how many pro cards they give out? Let's focus on
but they're not
the
pros.
of athletes that are being that are winning shows and that are at that higher level of a Mr. Olympia or whatever. Let's focus on what's going on the stage and pick the cream of the crop out who's on the stage, right?
Yeah.
That's what that's my mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree
Give out
with you.
1,000 pro cards. I don't care. As long as I got one, that means
yeah. What?
999 people. Okay, they must not be nowhere near as where I'm at because they're just giving them out everywhere. Okay, cool. That's good with me as a competitor.
Yeah, you change your Instagram.
And I think if the sport hadn't added divisions and started giving out more pro cards, I don't think we'd have a sport right now. I think it would have been unsustainable financially. It would have gone bankrupt years ago.
Put it this way, hardcore bodybuilding could not carry this industry. It was a time and place
No.
for that, and it's over.
I don't agree with this because we can have 30 different type of categories, right? Divisions, all right? Men's physique, wellness, bikini, fit model, bodybuilding 212, classic, classic physique. But the amateurs will still come and compete, and that's where the promoters make the money, is with the amateurs. Because if a promoter has 400 amateurs coming to a show, that's what, 150, 200 registration fee. Then there's the tanning, photography. So there's a lot of money to be made for the promoters. But this has nothing to do with how many pro cards are given out. Like we said last week, at the USA's, women's physique, 12 athletes, 7 pro cards. One athlete got a pro card competing against herself. That's not pro card worthy. When Kevin won the pro card, he was competing at what would be probably the best NPC national championships that there ever was. He had the best of the best, and all of them ended up being professionals and placing at the top 5 or top 8 at the Olympia over a number of years. Okay, that was the quality back then. Because to win a pro card, you had to be the best of the best. Now they're just giving pro cards out like candy. It is watered. It is watered down. A pro card is worth nothing today. Okay, you don't have to be the best in the world and the best in your country to win a pro card. All right. I mean, I know a lot of amateurs that won multiple pro cards, but they never say they are pros. Okay, they prefer to remain amateurs because they know they are not. They are fantastic bodybuilders or athletes, all right? But they see reality. They don't see themselves going on a pro stage. Okay, you're pro qualified, but you don't take it up. All right. So what do they do mostly at the NPC? They take the pro card. All right. They keep paying the registration fee that they're a pro, and they never step on a pro stage. So technically, they are still amateur, as Bob Ciccarello says. All right. The voice of bodybuilding. You're not a pro until you step on a pro stage, regardless how many pro cards you win. All right. The cream of the crop, the cream will rise to the top, as Kevin says, but from the best pros that there are. What's the use having all these pro cards? That is the gamble. It is a business because to remain a pro, you have to pay a registration fee each year. That equals to more money for the Mannion family, which is a business. All right. If these athletes remain amateur, they'll still compete anyways, and they'll still pay the registration fee. All right. But having a pro card and keeping it costs you money. So, the only thing that the pro card does for these athletes is changing their Instagram status, like many other guys say. All right. I don't agree with it. I don't think Kevin's seeing the big picture here. Like I said, that's his opinion. This is my opinion. I might get heat for this, I get a lot of slack. I don't care. But there's too many pro cards. Too many. Okay? Filter out the amateurs, and I guarantee you, the proper amateur that wins, that's deserving of a pro card, will do well as a pro. Not after 5 years, okay? That year, or the year after, all right? So, lots of these amateurs that win pro cards disappear, okay? That was their goal, winning a pro card. All right, you want a pro card. You're not a pro. You're not a pro. The NBC should make a rule. I think there is something now. If you win your pro card and you don't use it the following year or that year, okay, you lose it. You have to stay competing as an amateur. It is what it is. All right. You took your picture with the pro card, you won it, but you're not a pro. Step on the pro stage. Kevin knows. Kevin knows. When he won his pro card, he went to the Night of Champions, won it. He went to the Olympia, placed second to Dorian Yates. All right? That is a true pro card winner. You win your pro card competing at the best, literally best amateurs in the world. All right? He goes to the Night of Champions, stacked lineup, wins, and he goes against Dorian Yates and places second on his first Olympia. All right? Then all hell broke loose. Kevin had that, pec tear. All right? And as a true champion, he came back and he kept winning shows, the Arnold Classic, placing second, third at the Olympia throughout his whole career. All right? That is a true pro. Okay, I'm talking about Kevin here. He should know that. And Kevin goes to a lot of shows around the world. 99.9 of the pro card winners are not pro card worthy. They're just handed out because they placed in the top 3 of a poor lineup at some show, who knows where, all right? And that's it. You don't see these guys anymore. But as long as they have the IFBB Pro card, with the NPC and all this stuff, that's promotion for them. If the NFL, if everybody was transferred to Yahoo, the best of the best make it to the NFL, the best of the best make it to the NHL, football in Europe, the best of the best, all right? Nobody's handed out chances just to say, go play for Real Madrid or Manchester United or Inter or that. Let's see how you do. Let's just give you a try, not hurt your feelings. No, it doesn't work like that. If you're not at the scale of a professional in bodybuilding, forget it. Keep competing as an amateur, all right? And these pros know this, okay? But some are scared to go against what's being said by the powers above, all right? Many of these guys that have an opinion, and their opinion is, held dearly, they are scared to say what they have in their mind because they don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. Fine. You're the NPC, the IFBB of Europe, of Dr. Rafael Santonia, the same. I believe some pro card winners are not worthy. PCA as well. Many at NABA, lots of guys are not pro card worthy. It's crap. The best of the best. If we have to go back in time and see how pro cards were given out, that's why between the 70s and 90s, bodybuilding was better, in my opinion, because we always saw the best on stage. We never saw, this guy, give him about 3 or 4 years more or not. No, stepping on a pro stage is not a test to see how good you are. You have to step on the pro stage to win the show. All right? Not because you won a pro card at Mr. Milwaukee or whatever. All right? And you have the right to step on a pro stage. Fine. Get laughed at, placed dead last. Just to say you stepped on a pro stage. All right? No, you're a pro and you have to go for the win. Not just to say, I was there. It doesn't work like that. And what happens to the mid-range guys? The guys that place, between 8th and 16th. They try once, twice. They qualified for the Olympia. They place, 16th below. All right. They tried again the next year because the first year they're excited to be at the Olympia. All right. They placed dead last. The next year they might move up a couple of places. They tried the third year and they're gone. They say, this is not for me. I'm not good enough to be with those guys. And these guys were fantastic athletes. All right. So is the pro card watered down? Yes. Should thousands of pro cards be given out? No. That's the way I see it. And that's it for now. And please don't forget to subscribe to the Muscle News. See you soon.